Hi guys. Okay, so I'm on the floor in my office because I've got my little baby here. So hopefully this will go off without a hitch. Okay, so if you were with me yesterday, you know that I'm giving something away for your participation in these lessons. Our lesson yesterday was just talking about the desire that you have to have before you can change anything in your life. Remember, we're talking about being more proactive, having more abundance in your life. Yesterday is talked about the desire. Today our lesson is about words that you say. And there was a time in my life when I felt like we were on a merry-go-round. It was like we were getting older and fatter sometimes. The kids were getting taller, and it was like the same thing was happening over and over and over. I know that there's the definition of insanity where they say like the same thing's happening over and over and over, right? Well, that was happening in our lives. Like I was like, gosh, like I keep finding myself saying the same thing over and over and over. And I was saying things like, to friends that, wanted to go out to lunch on a whim, or family members that wanted to go on a trip on a whim, just like a camping trip or something. We didn't have money for that. So I would say often, we don't have any money. We're poor college students, or we're poor young people. Like, we don't have any money for that. We don't have money. We're just too poor. Like, it's not in our cards. Like, I would say things like that all the time. Or when I was trying to get things done around the house, I would be very frustrated, and I would say, my kids are taking over my life. Like, because of my kids, I am not getting these things done, right? My husband, he's not picking up his clothes, or he's leaving things around, and I kept speaking these things, and I would say kind of the same thing, like year after year after year. And it didn't dawn on me that this was happening until another family member started doing this a lot, and even to a more extensive degree than I was, like blaming their lack of whatever in their life consistently, like every single time. And I started noticing, and I thought, well, gosh, she keeps saying it. She was like affirming it to herself. And then I was like, Robin, you're doing that too. Like, it's not true that you don't have money. The truth is that you just didn't budget money for that. Because you're going to go to Walmart tomorrow and spend $40 on that thing. You do have money. You're just choosing to put it somewhere else. And it was this huge light bulb moment for me when I got thinking about all the things that I say when that wasn't true. So it was a big thing for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like a liar. I was saying so many things that were not true. We had money and we had different things, but I was saying it in a way over and over and over, like, we don't have money, we don't have money, we don't have money, when the truth was that I just didn't budget. And I didn't budget for any extras, and I didn't budget for that specific thing. Hey, Grant, be quiet just for a minute, honey. And so I realized I needed to change, but I wasn't sure how. And I came across a book that taught about speaking in a way of abundance and being grateful for what you have. Instead of saying, like, I have to go take my kids to school, it's I get to go take my kids to school. Instead of I have to go to work today, it's I get to go to work today. Instead of I have to pick up my husband's socks, I get to pick up my husband's socks. I am grateful that I have a husband. I'm grateful that my kids go to school. I'm grateful for the life that I have. And the more that I started speaking that way, I get to do these things. I get to have this experience. It made it so that those things were abundant in my life. I started seeing the abundance of my life everywhere. And it was amazing. It was amazing how when I started seeing how much I had and speaking it to the world, things started to change for me. I was so much more grateful for everything. And the old quote, what you send out to the world comes back to you, is true. Like, I started just being really grateful for any associations that I had. I get to have these friends. I get to have this business. I get to have this experience. And it was amazing. And so as you change your language, you start to speak that abundance into your life. And so what I want you guys to do for the next 24 hours is post or comment below a phrase that you say that maybe isn't the truth all the time. It could be, my kids drive me nuts. Do they really drive you nuts? Or is your day just so packed that you don't have time for your kids to really give them that quality time? I don't know what it is. I can't lose weight. Is it really you can't lose weight? Or have you really not actually given it a really dedicated effort? So think about those phrases that you're saying that may not be the whole truth. And you might have to dig deep about it. So comment below a phrase that you say that you're going to change to a more abundant mindset. It might be, I have to go to work. And you're going to change it to, I get to go to work. I have a job in this economy and I'm excited about it. And just saying those words, changing things to be the truth of what it is, will start to speak abundance into your life. And it's actually incredible. And then after 24 hours, yesterday I only did 10 minutes and I realized I'm like, so many other people are going to watch this when it's over. So I want to give you guys 24 hours to post something below, and you can post more than one, because I promise once you get thinking about this, you're going to think about more and more and more that you're like, oh my gosh, are you speaking the truth? And so for the next 24 hours, post your comments, and the last post, 24 hours after I end this video, is going to get an entire Beachbody Performance kit that has all the Beachbody Performance stuff in it. So if you are working out and you want to try a recovery drink that's amazing, or a hydration drink, or a pre-workout that's like Olympic athlete quality, you are going to get this little box shipped to you. Because I was like, what has to do with words? And I'm like, oh, well, our mouth, right? What we put in our mouth. I know, it's corny, but it works. So for the next 24 hours, put your comments below. And the last comment, 24 hours from now, is going to get this little box shipped to them. For free, obviously. So anyway, I hope that helps you. That's lesson number 2. We'll see you tomorrow for lesson number 3.